Hello Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading for the 19th through the 25th. Let's see what the focus is for you, Capricorn. Okay. On the bottom is teaching and learning. But self-discipline is... Actually, you know what? I'm going to take both of them. Because this feels like together there is a learning process. There's a lesson being learned. And teaching and learning is the path that's more positively oriented, right? It's the path to serving others, of service to others. It's very symbiotic. When you're teaching, you're learning. When you're learning, you're teaching. What is this about, though? Oh, I want this. Oh, I want both of these. You are creating a new story. I will say also underneath teaching and learning was abundance, so maybe it's the story of abundance. But these two together feels very... Alright, so Karn and the Wasteland. Portal to the mystery. The wasteland of abundance. That's the story. That's the lesson being learned. Learning more self-discipline. If it's a wasteland, then everything is about fight or flight. Everything is about survival. Everything is about the now. Not worrying about tomorrow, but like surviving right now in this moment, being in the moment. Learning to do with nothing, with very little, very lack, which is the complete opposite of abundance, right? The portal to the mystery. So you're accessing maybe forgotten parts of this story. You're accessing new ideas, new thought process, new untapped potential, so that you know what the lesson is there, so that you know how to operate through the wasteland, through the lack. Your advice is to use that. Your advice is... Oh, wow, that was terrible. Your advice is to use the lessons that you've learned when it comes to the wasteland in your life. Okay, so at points that you have felt lack, at points that you have felt that it was more about survival. It's using your wisdom about the power of the now, okay? To lead you and guide you this week. Because you know what to do with very little. You can make something out of nothing. That was a very hard lesson learned. The devil. You're the only one that's gotten the devil card. 4 swords. The only one. So there's definitely some significance there. There's that lack mentality. Again, the lack mentality. And the moon. Okay. Hold on, my computer's acting up. Alright, we should be good. What was I... Oh, I was looking at the moon. So we just had the full moon in Scorpio, right, last week. And next week we have the new moon in Gemini. So... But there's something here about the fear. The fear of not having enough, not being enough. The fear of being alone, possibly, with that 5 of Pentacles. The fear of being ostracized. Outcasted. The fear of not having this 10-year plan unfold. You're working through that. You're reminding yourself. It's over. Like there's the burden, the stress, the pressure is over. The pressure to... Okay, so I see what's happening here, Capricorn. You're becoming more mindful of the moment, of the now. You're not worrying anymore about what am I going to do in 10 years? Am I going to find, my soulmate? Like, am I going to have that family that I want to start? Whatever it is. Whatever your dream is. Your dream. You're not worrying so much. You're not putting so much pressure on yourself anymore. It's like you've accepted it. You've come to terms with it. You're at peace. You're at peace. You're no longer putting so much strain on your spiritual, mental, and emotional body for this long-term dream, for this long-term plan. because you realize that it's gotten like a hold of you. You're realizing you need to enjoy the journey. The journey is what matters more than that destination, right? It's like you want this thing so bad, you're almost making it a chore for yourself. You're kind of ruining the vibe of getting that thing at the end of the road. You realize you don't want to get to that destination being miserable the entire time, or worrying the entire time, or stressing the entire time, or putting so much pressure on yourself the entire time. So in that way, right, because you're doing that, and again, this is not like me telling you that you have to. I know you're already doing it. That's why your focus is self-discipline and teaching and learning. In that way, you're cutting off the devil. All right? You're cutting off all that negative, toxic bullshit. It's funny because I'm fine, okay? But as soon as I started reading, I got this terrible knot in my left shoulder, like this shoulder pain of like carrying the weight of the world. All right, and look at what's happening here with this bear, which bear represents family, represents protection, represents spirituality, strength above all else, right? That's what that bear, and you've got that supporting you right now. You're working with the bear spirit animal for sure, so I would look that up. I hope this helped, Capricorn. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.